All right, we are live. Phenomenal podcast, 16. We are. You're watching. Make sure everything's live. We'll play some music. Let's get some music going. Play some stuff. We're just waiting on Drake to get here, and then when that happens, we'll do a little talking. Make sure everything's good to go, and then we'll get live with the episode. So hang tight for a little bit. We'll be back in a little bit. Check 1 2. Check check. Oh, I just had random shit on the background. This is the Antifa down in UCL Berkeley. Oh, that's the left's hate group. They're really bad. They're as bad as like the KKK. Shit. They're on the left, but they're just as bad as they I mean the stuff that they're hating on is good shit to hate on. Well, I mean, Mike says it can hear us. We'll make sure that we can hear us on there. I wish I could get something else. A little bit, yeah. That's fine. We got to deal with it. Not that I know of. Hopefully this works. No, I just don't want to use that. Yeah.
We are live now, baby.
We are live. I don't know why it's coming through, but it wasn't. Go ahead and plug in. All right, we'll be going live with the podcast here in a couple minutes, guys. We're just pre-showing it at the moment. First episode jitters, get them out of the way. First episode live, at least I should say. So we'll be back in a couple minutes. Check 1, 2. Oh yeah.
And they also had a bunch of fucking.
I do. Oh yeah, no. Hot Topics is the spot right now for all that stuff. Hey guys, we're here.
Hot Topics actually.
Yeah, no, it's because it's wrestling. Even
my mic working finally?
Yeah, no. Yeah, so let's set your shit up. Drake's here, everybody.
Hi guys, what's up?
He's kind of offset today. We're still working on our proper setup. You don't look too bad though. I do. I haven't shared the screen, so hopefully I can do all that. Because this would solve everything. If I can, my biggest worry with going live with the video was I can perfect. I can switch over. We're still on. That's right there. I switched over to this screen. I was worried it was going to show this screen.
Oh.
So now I can do all my shit.
Oh, but and still have us up.
Because I'm also going to record the audio.
It's a little distracting though, being on this delay. It's
I'm going to turn this off. This was just to make sure everything.
Oh, okay, because I'm gonna get confused.
Yeah. Because I have I can pull the chat up. No, but the reason I'm doing this, we had 77 people watch live stream. Yeah, so that's why I'm doing this live.
I'm surprised because
Yeah, no,
a lot of it was
we are
us
making
fucking around.
We are making the
People
move.
actually found that entertaining.
Yeah, we're making the move to YouTube. We had somebody watch for almost.
Whoa.
Yeah, so whoever that was, big ups to that guy. Down.
What's up with Kaylee Ray getting eliminated first round? Wasn't she like supposed to be like a big deal?
Yeah, but at the same time, Princess Suez. She's a bigger name. Don't be shocked to see Kaylee Ray around after this.
Wow. How many second delay are we on?
I think it's like 30 seconds. It's not even like that. It's not that long. I'm like a bite behind. Here we go. About 20 seconds.
I really think the best thing.
No, we're definitely
You know, another thing, I feel like I had to have my mic so close to my mouth with those other headphones because I couldn't hear myself.
I didn't have your pop filter.
No, that's fine. Oh, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to have with that pop filter on and with my headphones. I had to have it like fucking half an inch away from my mouth. I can hear myself now, just like this, baby. But I don't know.
No, it's good that you finally got it.
Yeah, I've always had them. I only had the other one for the length board.
Yeah, no. All right. We're moments away, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't scream though, because these are really loud now. I want to make sure I'm on. Where's the camera? Right there. You want to make sure that I'm actually on screen if you want to do it like this. Are we gonna have video every week now? No, that's fine. I was just wondering if this is the new setup. I can't get this. Thanks. Seem like you have like a real tight grip. Yeah. What are you worried about this falling off? Is that a cat? No, I just heard. This is picking up. I'm not used to like hearing so much stuff like with the better headphones.
Get down, god damn it. How many times am I gonna say it?
They don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I say electrocute.
Tony, ladies and gentlemen, he electrocutes his cats whenever they
Only sexually.
Okay. Even better. Are you ready? And I first should have brought my beanie. Oh. Well, I was so used to being hot, now it's finally cooling off.
So here's the weird part. We're gonna get down, God. I'm not doing this all day, cat. Animal. All right. Let's make sure this is.
It's weird seeing you sit down whenever you're already sitting down. It looks like it's more like a 10-second delay.
It's not too bad though.
No. It's weird.
Check. Talk for me.
Testing.
All right, yeah.
Testicles, spectacles, wallet, and watch.
All right, we're good. We're good on that front. All right.
The agnostic front. That's it.
All right. So here's what we're.
My Tootsie's in order.
All right, guys. We're gonna turn off the cam for a minute because we're gonna do an intro.
But I'm gonna burp still. We got people watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome to the Phenomenal Podcast, episode 16, the first one live on the YouTube page. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a long time coming. How you doing today, Drake?
I am fantastic. How about you?
I'm perplexed because I'm not used to going live. There's so much more involved once you go live, and I'm excited to be here live on the podcast. I realized I didn't start recording, but that's okay. We're
I'm
gonna
not used to
start.
my headphones being as loud either.
Well, I'll just redo the intro. I don't give a fuck. But Drake,
Can you turn me down a little? Turn you down.
turn me down.
Yeah, I'm deaf. Remember, I have good headphones.
I can barely hear us coming out of this.
Really?
Yeah, this is a little annoying. We'll figure this out.
I can hear you like really fucking loud.
Because I can barely hear me coming out.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so we're
my headphones that good.
Yeah, I guess your headphones are just louder. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. Don't worry, bud.
That's fine.
Because we are here. It is Friday. No, it's Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday live on the YouTube page for the first time. This has been a long time coming for us, Drake. Like I said earlier.
Yes.
And
indeed.
lot of like huge news, but just weird news.
Yeah.
Coming out this week.
Yeah.
It's stuff that I wasn't expecting. Like, let's start out with just one random, just like the one that broke this morning, which was really weird to me. JBL leaving SmackDown.
Yeah, they said that he wanted to focus on what he's been doing since 2010, help kids like in need. Does that mean like he medical, like they have medical problems or mental issues?
No, he goes down. He does a lot of work in Bermuda, and he goes down and he helps like at-risk kids.
Oh, at-risk kids. Yeah. So I didn't know what he meant by like at-risk.
Yeah, so he runs Beyond Sports, which is like it's like their rugby league down there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been out down there since 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And 7,000 programs in 17 countries. So obviously he's doing something good. So all those people that call JBL a piece of shit, kind of wrong.
Yeah, I know he had a good side to him. I just think that all that bullying stuff, I think that was like more like old JBL. Not that he still doesn't do it, but it seems like not as much now. I think the Morrow thing was kind of blowing up a portion, and he probably has, I don't know, some insecurities, but who doesn't? But ultimately, I know he's not a piece of shit, and this goes to show it. So,
like, it's just funny to me in all of this because I heard about this years ago when JBL started doing this, because he's been doing this for a little while now. And so it's not surprising to hear that he is doing this, but at the same time, it's surprising to see him walking away from SmackDown. And what's interesting to me, who's going to replace him?
I don't know. I mean, they got Morrow on NXT now.
That's not going to happen. So, well, no, actually, now I think about it, what's stopping him from coming back to SmackDown? It was JBL. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe they'll get. I hope it's not David Otunga. Dear God.
See, that's the first name that popped into my head, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, he's been gone. They said they were going to bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
But Jerry Lawler did show up on Raw this week.
Yeah, I would like to see him come back, honestly. It's like, too bad they can't. Maybe once Booker T comes back on Raw, maybe Jerry will go to SmackDown, because it's only 2 hours. His heart can handle 2 hours. His heart can't handle 3 hours.
I know, because I would rather see Lawler on Raw than on SmackDown. I feel like that would be the better dynamic.
Yeah, but
I would like that just a little more. I could see what you're saying with his health. That's a long show, Raw 3-hour show.
Yeah, I mean, because I think that was a 3-hour show back in 2012. Yeah, because that's when it started going to 3 hours. Was in 2012, actually.
Now,
in the summer. So,
do you think there's a possibility that they could just go to a 2-man booth?
Maybe, but I don't know. Like Byron and Todd sound like identical practically. Like it's.
I mean, they were. You gotta understand though, they were the NXT commentary team for a while. I can't remember how when it was probably around the Kevin Owens era of NXT, where they were really.
I remember that. Well, I mean, the NXT commentator table had rotated a lot of people. At one point, they had Alex Riley, and
At one point, they had Renee Young, which is a name
yeah,
that's
I
been
remember
popping
that.
up a lot. People want to see replace
They also had
JBL.
A-Train, whatever you want to call him now.
Jason Albert was doing it,
Jason
yes.
Albert,
Or Matt Bloom, whatever you want to call
and
him.
that one goon that they fired. I can't remember. He was his name
Rich
was
Brennan?
yeah, that good.
Yeah, where's he at? Where's Rich Brennan at? Was he fired?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, he's been gone for like over a year. I mean, that's why.
Has it really been a year?
It had to have been, man. He's been gone for a fucking while. It's been a year. About.
No, there's no way. Are you sure? I could see maybe like 6 to 7 months. I don't know.
Dude, he's been gone for all of 2017.
Didn't he commentate one of the takeovers recently?
No, he's been gone for over a year. He hasn't been around since 2016.
Who does NXT commentary? It's before Morrow got there. Who was doing it?
Fucking well, Corey's last show was in San Antonio.
Well, I'm saying like the play-by-play guy, not color.
Oh, you mean like
Morrow's the play-by-play guy. Who was doing play-by-play beforehand? Corey's always just been the color.
It was all the fucking same.
I know they sound the same.
I don't know the difference between play-by-play and color. Isn't it the same thing?
No, play-by-play is like your JR, your Michael Cole, where you're really talking the action. Then color commentators.
Well, after
JBL,
Corey and before Morrow, it was just Nigel McGuinness. It was Nigel McGuinness.
Percy Watson, somebody else.
Todd Phillips was there.
Was it Phillips?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's right. He was doing double duty. Okay. Because he's been on SmackDown for about he's been on SmackDown for about a year. Because he came to SmackDown right about the time that there was the brand split.
Yes.
Because that's when they started doing the double time with him and Morrow.
Right. But I only have these off because.
Yeah, I know. We'll figure that. We'll figure that out.
All right.
But it's interesting to see where that's going to go. But let's go back to let's go on to some actual wrestling stuff, because I don't know if you I'm guessing you're probably not a fan of Lucha Libre.
No, it's all right.
Well, I mean, like, you're not a diehard fan. Like last week was
no, not a diehard. But...
Well, last week was Triple Mania, which is like AAA, which is the big one of the big
yeah, I know about AAA.
The companies in Mexico, they had their Triple Mania is like their WrestleMania,
and not to be confused with AAA, the towing company.
Yes, no, that's totally different, totally different. But during the AAA, there was a fatal 4-way match. It was Rosemary, Sexy Star, Lady Shani, and Aiko Hamada.
Sure, I'll go with it.
Which
I'm not going to correct you because I don't know.
And it was for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. I guess just means woman. I don't know what the fuck that means. I can't speak Spanish. Maybe you can. But
where's this word at? What did you just read?
Oh, right there.
Reina de Reigns. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
That looks about right to me.
It's Reina de Roman Reigns.
That looks about right to me, yeah.
But during the match, there was it seemed like there was issues between Sexy Star and Lady Shahan. They were
Shahan Michaels.
Yeah, Shahan Michaels. But they were shooting on each other during the match. Nobody knows why. We'll get into more what happened that later, because at the end of the match, Sexy Star puts Rosemary in an armbar.
Yeah, I read that.
Simple enough. Simple armbar. Rosemary taps. That was the plan. The interesting stuff happens after Rosemary taps out. Because after Rosemary tapped out, Sexy Star didn't let go. Sexy Star dislocated her arm, pulled it completely out of the socket. Luckily, it's come out that there's not any structural damage. She's not going to miss any time, but her arm was dislocated.
Yeah, what was the point? What was she?
Was
she legit trying to hurt her? Obviously.
Well, it came out. Rosemary's comment. It was a long comment, but she says for sure. Yeah, it was a shoot. There was nothing work about it. Here's a quote that I'll give you. You're an asshole and you don't belong in the business. That's a legit quote that she said to Sexy Star. Another thing that she said, the only reason that she didn't get up and kick the shit out of Sexy Star in the ring was don't go to Mexican prison. That kept going through her head, because she would have gotten her shit handed to her in Mexican prison. Mexican prison is dangerous, not only for foreigners, but for Mexicans themselves.
Yeah.
Mexican prisons are noted for being dangerous. So she made the smart move. She definitely made the smart move.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think about that. I'm like, because I was like, if that happened to me, I'd kick their ass. But I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't even think about jail. But I'm sure jail there is not a fucking walk in a park.
Yeah, so Sexy Star was legit pissed. Apparently, after the situation, Sexy Star tried to leave the arena immediately after the match, but Vampiro went back and got her and made her come back and apologize.
Yeah, I read that too.
But it also apparently Lady Shahan was looking to continue the fight. She wasn't done. She was pulling a Braun Strowman, and she was not finished with you. So Sexy Star in a lot of hot water. I don't know if you've seen some of like the responses from just like the wrestling business itself.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, she might have become the most hated person in pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately. Like I don't know if you legit like have seen the stuff posted. Cody Rhodes said that he's never going to let her in a locker room that he's in ever again.
Yeah.
Like people are talking like she should be blackmailed. WrestleCade, which is one of the bigger like indie promotions. She was supposed to make an appearance. They totally pulled her from the
Yeah,
appearance.
she pretty much just fucking blacklisted herself. She's an idiot.
Well,
what was she trying to do? Get more heat? Like, well, I mean, if you wanted to do that, fine. But why don't you at least like fucking like, like just work it. Like, don't fucking do it legit. Especially if Rosemary didn't know about it.
Well, this is what
they could have maybe planned something on the fly. Like maybe like whenever she made her tap the first time, she could have said like, "Hey, can I do it again and get more heat?" Or like, you can whisper shit to each other, whatever they do. But like, no, she didn't even know about it. She fucking cranked it too hard, or she legitimately tried to hurt her. I don't know the reason, but whatever it was uncalled for. And Rosemary and a bunch of other people were obviously pissed.
Yeah, well,
rightfully so.
Well, Sexy Star responded.
Okay.
So it came a few days afterwards. It was like 2 or 3 days later. This has been a very, very difficult days for me. Nobody gives a shit how difficult it's been for you. You're an asshole. First off, just to sum up this apology, because I'm not going to read her whole quote. She doesn't apologize at all. There's no apology.
Yeah, I'm not shocked. She doesn't seem like the type.
She said that pretty much says Rosemary's faking it.
Is she Mexican? She looks like she's white.
No, she's Mexican.
All right.
Yeah. She's. This have been very difficult days for me. You think a fucking American would say something like that?
No.
We know the language. Like you can tell that's broken English.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't get. I nobody can make heads or tails of this situation because there was no reason for her to shoot at any point in this competition.
Okay, she can't even fucking respond with a legitimate answer or legit.
Just fucking apologize.
Or a legit apology. So
Yeah.
fuck her. Until she gives a good explanation or a good apology, then fuck her.
You know what it is? I've not been a Sexy Star fan from the very beginning. When I first saw, I first made contact with Sexy Star in Lucha Underground. That's the first time that I would.
That's the only thing I know her from. I know my friend.
I wasn't a fan of her in Lucha Underground either.
My friend Mari's a big fan, but now not after this.
You could tell by the way she carried herself that she thought she was queen shit.
Queen shit.
And you could
tell fecal.
And you can tell what this came down to is Rosemary's a very popular female wrestler outside WWE right now. She's probably.
I just know her from what was that group called? Decay.
Yeah, no, and she was awesome.
I almost said Sanity.
She was.
Can you imagine Decay versus Sanity? That'd be a great
match.
That'd be
awesome.
sick, dude.
That would be awesome. But I think Crazy Steve left the company too.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Crazy Steve's no longer with TNA. Yeah, I think there was talks of him going to WWE. Now I think about it.
Dude, then he can join Sanity.
Oh my god, perfect fit.
Fucking tits.
Keep the clown character too. It would work perfectly.
Yeah.
But so that's
Crazy Steven.
So I'm just I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how to make heads or tails of this situation. It's a weird situation to think about. I sure hope Sexy Star doesn't get booked for anything.
I just say fuck her until she like I said comes out with a good apology or a good excuse.
Well, here's the thing too. Everybody's like, "Oh, she needs to be blacklisted."
Even if she doesn't have a good excuse, at least just have an apology.
Well, here's what's gonna happen.
I don't know if she should be blacklisted totally, but definitely she should not. They should stunt her momentum a little bit just because it was kind of a dick thing to do.
Well, she'll be blacklisted until somebody pays her money. Because you know who else got blacklisted but somehow still gets booked? New Jack.
New Jack.
Mass Transit, the 60-year-old.
Oh yeah, I know New Jack.
Yeah, he's fucked up so many people. Like legitimately fucked up so many people.
Yeah, but there's still some goon out there that's gonna pay him.
Oh, he gets booked all the time. And I got no hate towards New Jack, just mostly because I don't want to die. And I actually have a friend who's friends with New Jack. Kid I went to high school with is like really good friends with fucking New Jack. It's really weird.
Well, I don't care. I don't really like or respect the guy. I'm not gonna lie. I think
I respect him.
Crap.
He's still he's not totally shit. If you go back and watch old Smoky Mountain Wrestling, he was actually a legitimate wrestler at one point. As crazy as
I seen him live and I like whatever.
Yeah, no, he's a hardcore wrestler.
He's a goon.
To each their own as it goes. But really
hardcore wrestling is very subjective.
To
opinion.
Yeah, it comes down to.
There's good and bad with it.
But you know what? What's really not going to come down to opinion and what everybody's going to be excited for if it happens?
What is that?
Triple H this week on First Take, on ESPN's First Take. He was promoting Mayweather Classic, and they talked a little bit about McGregor, Mayweather, just random sports shit.
I've yet to see the match, but I've seen the fight, I should say. But I've heard good things. You saw it?
It was what I expected it to be.
Did you like it?
Oh no, I enjoyed the fight. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like a knockout, drag out. Oh, this is the greatest fight of all time. It wasn't that. It was exactly.
I heard he went to 10 rounds.
Nobody expected McGregor to go 10, which was awesome to see him go 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a competitive 10. Like he won 3 of the first 4 rounds. It might have been because Don't get me wrong. It might have been because Mayweather let him win those rounds.
Yeah,
there's a good possibility of that, but he still was competitive.
I know someone that lost the grand betting on McGregor, but I'm not.
That's dumb.
I'm not going to name his name. Oh, but we forgot to mention last week, folks. We wanted to mention that Mauro Ranallo called that match.
Mauro did call that fight.
And how was he? I
didn't get to hear it because the only broadcast I could find was in Russian.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't understand a word of commentary the whole fight.
Well, I heard he did good too. So good on you, Mauro.
I did hear Mauro did great.
Good on you, Mauro.
So wrestling did have a big influence in.
I would love if him and JR can commentate with each other all the time, like on that one match at NXT.
I feel like they would run over each other too.
Because they're both too good. Actually.
They're both too good. Like
it'd be too much greatness. We couldn't handle it.
Yeah, no, it would
too
be
much
like
split stimulation.
I would love to see a Mauro JR podcast.
There
that
you
would
go.
Be fucking entertaining.
Then they'd run us out of town. Anyways, get back to Ronda. I just wanted to mention that.
Well, I didn't say her name yet, but Triple H.
Sorry, dude.
Spoiling the fucking story.
I meant
Ronda, our manager at work.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the only other one I know.
But, that's the only other Ronda I've ever met in my life. But Triple H talked about Ronda Rousey.
There you go.
On this ESPN on First Take, and he said she's a huge fan. She and the door's open pretty much. To sum it up, the door's open. It comes down to Rousey, and if it comes down to Rousey, I'm saying she's here by Mania.
Probably.
I'm legitimately saying either I don't know if she'll have a match at Mania. I could see her making an appearance at Mania and like saying like, "Hey, it's official."
Yeah.
I could either see her showing up at the Rumble doing that. It's going to be interesting to see. Like, who do you think would be the first person? Because you could send her to NXT, which they might do just to like get her used to professional wrestling. But at the same time, I just can't see them not putting her on the main roster. She's going to pop all the ratings.
Yeah, there would be no point in putting her in NXT. She's too big of a name in sports entertainment. Well, not even sports entertainment,
just sports in general.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like, how they put Styles straight in the main roster. They need to put her right in the main roster, probably Raw. I'd imagine Raw, right?
Well, who would she face on Raw? 'Cause I feel like SmackDown might be the better spot for it right now.
It would, but isn't there usually more eyes on Raw? Like what you got Cena on there? It just seems like WWE always. It seems like they have this perception that Raw has always been bigger and better.
Well, it is the flagship show anyway. You slice it. It is the flagship.
I would prefer her to be on SmackDown. Don't get me wrong, but I would just think that they would put her on Raw. But I would prefer it on SmackDown because you got. Well, actually, no. SmackDown actually could work even from a promotional standpoint because remember the beef with her and Becky, that Twitter exchange.
Well,
Becky needs something.
Well, that wasn't with her. That was with.
But still another. She's an MMA fighter.
Becky Lynch would be a phenomenal first opponent for Ronda Rousey because obviously.
And isn't Becky banking some MMA fighter too? It works.
Yeah, she's dating a UFC fighter. I can't remember his name, but no, that would be a tremendous first opponent because obviously the feud that they want at some point it's Ronda versus Charlotte has to happen sooner or later.
Yeah,
it has to happen.
Honestly, Charlotte's lost like all her momentum since going to SmackDown. You think the opposite would have happened? Whatever happened to SmackDown being the land of opportunity? Like it's fucking.
That was bullshit.
I'm so tired of gender being champion, but that's just not the only thing that's wrong with it. Like
you might only have to wait one more pay-per-view.
Good,
honestly.
Charlotte, I just think Charlotte can do. They can do better with Charlotte. But she's still out though because she's
well, she was back
comforting her dad.
She was at the arena last week. She didn't. She wasn't on television, but she was because they had an update. They gave an update during the show. So she was there last week. So don't expect her probably back on television this week.
I would like to see.
Actually, before you say that, quick update on Ric Flair. He is doing better.
Okay,
So,
is he out of the hospital yet?
Not yet, but
not yet.
I heard a couple days ago he was going to start physical therapy either this week or next week. So Rick is doing better.
That's good.
He's still not in great condition, but he's in better condition. Right. So
Rick's
shout out
good.
to Ric Flair.
How's Morty though?
Who?
You said Rick's good. How's Morty?
Oh, Morty's fine.
Okay,
Morty's crying in the quarter.
Okay, good.
I should have got that, by the way.
It's all right. But I go over your head sometimes. You go over my head.
That's the one I should have fucking got though. I love Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I do need.
Shout out to fucking Rick and Morty.
I do like that show.
So
I want to see more. I would like to see an interpromotional match, whatever you want to call it. I don't have Charlotte. Has Charlotte and Alexa Bliss ever had a match against one another? I don't think so, and I'd like to see that.
Maybe
the Queen versus the Goddess. Tell me that's not a great match. That'd be a great match.
Oh, I'm definitely not arguing that. I think that might happen in NXT when Alexa Bliss was still figuring herself out, like when she was with Blake and Murphy. I think
she might have. I think Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha like left like right when Alexa was coming in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not true. Not true. Because remember she had that like fairy style gimmick where I
was just gonna say that, but I don't think if she ever did have a match with Charlotte, it was whenever she was like that little cheerleader, fucking lovey dovey. Shit,
it's worth it. It's worth it.
We need to see the new. I want to see like nowadays. I want to see today's Bliss versus today's Charlotte. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I love
the Queen versus the Goddess because I don't know. I really just thought the way they booked Charlotte last year, I thought that they would have given her more in SmackDown. I thought she would be only the second woman ever to be both a Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion.
And yes, they have fought before. It was for it was a semifinals match in NXT Women's Title.
But I was surprised. But it's like when Bliss was like a nobody though.
May 15th, 2014.
Exactly. That's when Bliss was nobody.
Oh, she was still doing the Sparkle gimmick.
Well, no shit. I could have told you that.
Remember when her finisher was named the Sparkle Splash?
Yeah. To this day, sometimes I still call it that because I forget.
No, fuck that. That was the worst fucking name for a finisher ever. I'm
just
saying.
The hair.
Oh, right. Lower.
Just the hair. Okay.
No, hey. But I legitimately might be the worst finisher.
Yeah, I know, but it's funny because it's called Twisted Bliss now, right?
I love the name Twisted.
Oh, I do too, but sometimes I still want to call it the Sparkle Splash. I didn't like it. It's just like how I remembered it, you know. Kind of like how I'm like, oh, there's John Cena doing the FU, you know.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get
the foo. Anyways, but the only reason I brought that up is because I really thought they were gonna. But the way Bliss is being booked right now and calling herself the Goddess and the only woman in history to hold both the SmackDown and Raw Women's Championship, they could have done the same thing with Charlotte. I just thought she would.
Charlotte's gonna be the first one.
I thought she was gonna have a bigger role in SmackDown by now, you know. And I thought she'd be the second woman ever to hold both Raw and SmackDown Women's title. And then you can have the Queen versus the Goddess. It'd be good, you know.
Here's the thing.
And Rousey would fit in there with Becky and Charlotte and all that.
Oh, I think right now, because I mean on Raw, Sasha Banks would be a great match.
What, the fucking fragile fucking pussy Bayley?
I have no interest in seeing Ronda Rousey versus Bayley because Bayley would have no goddamn shot against
Bayley.
Sorry, fans.
I'm sorry. I used to love Bayley. I'm like I barely like her anymore.
I think the injury was the best thing that happened to her. If she's actually fucking injured, we don't know
yet.
Well,
but I mean, she did have good matches with Asuka. That's more like when I still. When she had matches with Nia and Asuka, especially on NXT. That's when I still loved and respected Bayley.
There are two different Baileys. There's NXT Bayley, who I fucking love. Exactly. I love it. I miss NXT.
Me
Bayley.
Too.
That's if they're talking about sending anybody to NXT, Bayley's the first person.
I know.
She succeeds so well on the NXT stage. She could be like the Trish Stratus. No doubt in my mind.
By the way, I wanted to take something back. I said, I think a couple weeks ago, I was talking shit on Nia. I actually like Nia, and I think I was just, I don't know, I was upset about something, and I just like wanted to, you know.
Yeah, you can't.
Wait, I think that was that Rust show, and I just wanted to keep going, and I didn't want to get stuck on Nia. I think I was upset because like I thought she was the one that injured Bayley, but Bayley maybe Bayley just kind of sucks. I don't know.
I think Bayley's just fragile. I think.
Yeah.
I think you can't fully blame Nia because obviously she's close to 300 pounds. She's gonna fucking crush fragile little Bayley.
I do like Nia. Now I actually when I see her slam Alexa, I'm actually looking forward to that. Is she gonna? So Nia's gonna be booked as a face. Is that what's going on? It looks like they're booking her as a face.
I could see it. I would see.
Well, I mean, Bliss is a heel, and they don't have. They don't have too many heel versus heel matches in history.
They could do it though. It would make sense with Nia because it could be the gigantic heel versus the cocky heel.
Well, she could be like a tweener kind of, you know.
She could be even Alexa could be.
But anyways,
I could see Alexa pulling off a tweener.
Getting back to the root of the matter, we were getting back to Ronda. Yeah, on Raw you'd have Nia, Alexa, Bailey. Who else? I guess
Emma might be an interesting
Mickey
matchup.
and all that. But
Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooke, yeah.
Yeah.
But SmackDown, you got Charlotte, Becky. Oh, you were kidding. Okay.
I was totally.
I figured. I was like thinking. Well, the only reason I wasn't sure is because she was a bodybuilder.
I legitimately talked shit on Dana Brooks like a week. Literally last week's episode, I talked shit on.
Well, I don't know. Her bodybuilding background might be something, but
nope. No interest.
Anyways, well, I heard that she's fucking sleeping her way to the top, but that might be a rumor. I don't know.
No, she just had a boyfriend that died.
Oh yeah, that's fucked up. Hey, I'm sorry, but that dude looked like a fucking house, man. I don't know how you can even like leave. No pun intended. I don't know how you can leave the house looking like that. Take one step outside, and not have a heart attack. No, I mean I'm sorry. I know it's fucked up, but
talking about a roided up boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know that's fucked up, and it's sad, but he was like so huge. It's like, how do you even fuck?
You could tell he was on something. Which I don't know the.
His arms were literally larger than tree trunks.
It was ridiculous. No, that's not that. So definitely had a factor in it. So I don't want to make light of the situation though, because it is very sad for Dana Brooke.
Yeah,
but
who's on SmackDown though? Charlotte, Becky, those are good opponents.
Tamina, Lana. I would love to see her.
I love Carmella, but she's kind of like a little like cheerleader type. Naomi would be a
very interesting matchup.
And Natalya.
I would love to see Natalya versus
honestly. Rihanna. It's funny that I said I want to take back what I said about Nia. I actually want to say the same thing about Natalya. She's starting to come around on me.
Pulling to me, huh? She wins the title,
and I actually no.
What I did with Naomi
because
Naomi, what the fuck?
After she toned down the cat shit a little bit, and then I seen her. It reminded me when I seen her match at SummerSlam. It reminded me just how skilled she is.
She's a damn good wrestler,
and she is a veteran. She's been around for like 10 years. It's like she does deserve it, and she looks good, with the title.
Great.
So sometimes it just takes someone with the image of someone holding or wearing the title for me to wake me up. Sometimes, like you know what, she does deserve it, and then especially with how good that match was. You got Naomi and Natalya. That was a good women's wrestling match, and you both.
It was a great match.
They both deserve the position
I'm still shocked that Naomi lost the title, but I think it was a good decision.
Well, that's actually I can actually transition into another topic they can bring up. I just read today that apparently there's been so many title changes in WWE as of late because it's all Vince McMahon, and he thinks that within doing that, he says it generates shock value, and he thinks that it'll get more people to talk and put eyes on the product with the shock value. I think there's good and bad with that. What, Vince Russo?
Vince Russo when WCW was dying.
I think there's good and bad with shock value. There are moments, and there is a place for shock value, but it also kind of starts to like take away the value of the title. You know what I mean?
Annoying. When somebody wins it on Monday Night Raw and then loses it 4 days later, like Hikaru Tozawa, or when Alexa Bliss loses it and then regains it the next fucking night, that's a problem.
Exactly.
That's a legitimate problem.
I agree with you. I think we can all agree that there is a time and place for shock. But to keep doing it, it gets to a point though that if two things, if you keep doing it, it's gonna end up being predictable that the title is gonna change hands.
Yeah.
And two, it starts to devalue the worth of the title.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but it does. Yes, it's all fake at the end of the day, quote unquote. Even though people are getting injured now more than ever. So, you have to those titles got to mean fucking something, man. Because at least to the wrestlers, it means a lot.
You know what the most legitimate titles on WWE television are right now?
The ones on NXT?
No, the tag team titles on Raw.
Yeah,
because the New Day held them for so damn long. That's the only legitimate title on television. I'm sorry, they've devalued every single title around them.
Yeah.
I love the WWE Championship. Don't get me wrong. It's still. I have no problem saying it's one of my favorite titles.
They gotta get it off Jinder though, man. It's a fucking
Jinder's devalued it.
It's a joke.
It is a joke.
Dude, he fucked up I know you didn't see SmackDown. He fucked up a spot. You know how Orton does the draping DDT on the ropes?
Yeah.
Orton fucking Jinder. And hilarious. That's funny because people say it about Cena, they don't say that about Orton.
I'm taking it back.
I know, but dude, Jinder fucking slipped. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but he fucking his legs came out. He fucking Orton he slipped out of Orton's grasp, and Orton just fucking picked him up and DDT'd him normally, and then Jinder just rolled out. He's an idiot, dude.
I mean, I don't want to.
He sucks, dick.
Like, I don't want to hate on Jinder too much. He's just not WWE caliber.
That's what I'm saying. But why not give him a U.S. championship run? I think it'd be perfect for him.
Oh my God, with that gimmick, holy yes.
That's what I'm saying. They did it with Rusev, and look how good it was. Here's the thing.
No,
I'm not saying
10 times better than Rusev.
I'm not saying that Jinder it doesn't have potential to be great one day. They just put him on him way too soon. You can't go. This just goes to show you can't go from being a jobber to a champion. Yes, there are exceptions to this, because look at Brock Lesnar. He went from being basically a rookie to a champion in a matter of months. But Brock Lesnar's a special specimen.
Brock Lesnar's a one of a kind.
He really fucking is. And you can even argue about Sheamus. Look how fast he went from being nobody to the champion. But
they rushed the fuck out of Sheamus, though.
They what? They did.
They did rush Sheamus.
They did, and I feel like that's why I didn't like him at first. It wasn't that good.
Even Ryback, you can look at.
Exactly. Lesnar is really the only exception to this rule, because he's that damn good. And I'm not talking about Triple H, but you can't. But this is just when do you think they're going to learn their lesson? You can't rush greatness. You have to fucking build it. They should have just started out building him up as a mid-carder, put the U.S. title on him, and it would have been perfect. And then, like a year or two down the road, then give him the title.
Well, you know what? You know how I would have booked it? Book him winning the U.S. title and then have him switch it from the United States title to the Punjabi.
The Punjabi title.
Yes, that would. Oh my God! Could you imagine how fucking much heat he would have?
I read rumors a couple years ago, and I was hoping to God they would have came true, but they never did. When Rusev was the U.S. champion, and that was one of the hottest reigns, by the way. I think it was great because so many people were hating him. It was great.
The undefeated streak, it was perfect.
There was rumors when he was coming out with the Russian flag and wearing the fucking
it was a great medal.
Oh, people hated
it.
They
would drop the giant.
Whenever, how much did you crack up and love it whenever they always put up an image of Vladimir Putin on the title?
Oh, they would be like, "We're doing this for Putin."
Right?
He would be like, "Fuck you."
I read and thought it was going to happen, but unfortunately it never did. I read that they were going to change the U.S. title to the Russian championship, but it never happened.
They should have done it.
And it would have been great.
I've been thinking about doing that for years, the foreign heel, because it would work so good. It would be so much fucking heat because Americans love our American thing.
Yeah,
but anyways, taking it away from us, it would be
I didn't want to think people. I don't want people to think I completely hate Jinder. I only just hate the role that he's in because he's not ready. He still has a bunch of potential to be great. They just fucking did it too soon. And another thing, I do have a pet peeve. Why did when he talks, does his voice always crack? Have you ever noticed that?
I did notice that.
It always sounds like
he's like. I think he's forcing. Yeah, I think he's forcing a wrestling voice on us.
Yeah, but I also know, but he does seem like he really loves the role that he's in. He seems like he's a really respectful, nice guy. And
if you go on, Jericho did a podcast with him recently. If you go on and listen to him, very intelligent guy.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy who has his shit together, and he seems very grateful to have had a second opportunity to come back.
No doubt.
But they fucked him over by pushing him too soon. And look, they did to Sheamus, they did it to Reigns. Lesnar's the only fucking exception.
They did a good job with Lesnar.
Because Lesnar, I'm sorry, but Lesnar is he really is like a god, and he's coming around on me too. The only reason I ever hated him was because I was fucking butthurt that he beat the streak. And then
that was 3 years ago. You got to get over that.
Oh, I finally got over it. I finally got over it when Goldberg beat him in 10 seconds. I finally got over it, and then I'm like, well, okay, I like Lesnar again now because I know he's not immortal. So then I wanted him to kill Goldberg, and his last two matches, especially the one at SummerSlam, were so good.
Oh, SummerSlam match.
No, I mean sometimes you can say that he has the 5 moves of Doom too, but I don't know. But he's so marketable.
Name me a better move outside of a finisher. That's not a finisher, other than the German suplex.
And I'm not gonna lie, dude.
When Brock Lesnar takes people, all he had to say on Raw this week was Suplex City, bitch, because that's all he needs to fucking say.
Right.
Just take him to Suplex City.
And sometimes Suplex City does kind of get my nerves, but I'm starting to like it again. And I'm not gonna lie, the F5 and the German suplex are two of my all-time favorite moves.
Here's my thing too with that.
I love the German suplex. How many other people are doing German suplexes anyway?
Oh, everybody does. Nowadays, everybody's suplexing. But here's what makes it different. After going through a night of seeing the cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
And then you go on to the tag team division where Rollins is working that cruiserweight style. And you could even argue guys like Ambrose to a point or to a point. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like a high flying style. It's a brawling style, but it's not like a power offense.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of wrestling today is that that high fast paced, high action, like
Yeah, that's what people
not,
like.
not to steal a word from Jim Cornette, but the flippy shit.
Yeah,
But
spot monkeys.
Exactly.
So, you remember? Sorry, did you remember the episode of Impact last year?
Oh, so good.
Where he took Jeff Hardy to the zoo. He's like, "It's the spot monkeys." Do you remember the? Sorry, I've just thought about that. Do you remember he has a giraffe named George Washington?
Yes, and
I fucking
a kangaroo
miss this shit, man.
named Joe Frazier.
Fucking go back to it. Like, come on, WWE, just let me broken.
It's not.
I know. I'm just saying. Come on.
That went under the fucking bridge. Not to. I'll go back to what I was saying earlier. But that went under the fucking bridge real quickly, didn't it?
What?
That whole Hardys versus Anthem situation. That went quiet.
Yeah. So is it still going on?
I don't know. It's fucking. I think everybody just dropped it.
I was reading that they were gonna. They're closer now than ever to getting it.
I haven't heard anything. Like I've heard nothing on it.
Why don't they just go Woken? Well,
Well, see, and here's the thing. Now, let's talk about this a second. Let me go back to what I was saying with the Brock Lesnar situation. When you go through like the whole night and you see all like the high pace stuff like that, it's really good to see just a knockdown, drag out, old school style match. And if it's gonna be like the heavyweights going at it, that's exactly who should be doing it.
I was gonna say, I think another problem I used to have with him was like, I was like, oh, I don't want the titles on a part timer. But honestly, lately, this run with Lesnar the title has actually been entertaining because now when he actually defends it, like against Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, it's actually exciting, is it not? And because you keep thinking it's like, oh, is this going to be the guy that's going to take it from Lesnar? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I need to just come to terms that Lesnar's that fucking good, and there's a reason why he's the champion.
There's a reason why he's the god.
No, I mean, it was kind of, you can kind of argue like that The Rock kind of sucked, but The Rock just wanted to do it for his fans. You know what I mean? But like when he had a match against Punk, he was kind of getting gassed out,
Oh, it was just,
but he wanted to do it for his fans, and I respect that.
Well, at that point, it was like,
I just wish they didn't end Punk's reign so soon. I just, but that was like going back like 4 years now.
Yeah. That's a totally different subject. But
Lesnar as champion, I'm okay with it right now, especially if he's going to be done at WrestleMania, like for good. He might as well go out with a bang.
Exactly. Let him hold on to that title. I don't think he'll be done for good. I could see him walking away for a little bit, but I could see him making like a Goldberg type.
I don't mind. I don't like to seem like the type that changes my mind a lot, but my opinions and my taste and things, they do. Sometimes I need to reflect upon how I really feel and think about things, and then I come out with different answers at the end of the day.
No matter what,
something could change tomorrow. It's just like that's what's fun about being a fan. I'm not always set in stone with my opinions and thoughts. Things change.
Yeah, no, that's what's good about being a wrestling fan.
But speaking of, you were saying Rollins and Ambrose, I love them the champions right now. It's fucking phenomenal. Dude. I love it.
I do too, but that's not the championship I want to talk about right now because you brought up the Hardys.
Yes, and I was gonna go back to that as soon as I said that too.
Yeah, but
Jeff, man,
Jeff Hardy officially the number one kid winning a battle royal on Raw this week. I was shocked to see it not be Jason Jordan, but I'm 100% happy to see it was Jeff Hardy.
I think Jason Jordan needs some work.
He does, no doubt.
I think he. I don't know if they should have broken him up so soon.
They should. They should not.
I don't think they should have, dude. What was the point? They barely did anything with American Alpha on SmackDown, and then they broke him up. I know the Brooklyn fans were booing them, but they're always like fucking, they got to always.
Yeah, they're just
bizarre world. They always got to do the opposite. But Jason Jordan's a phenomenal athlete, but I just think that he still needs some work. And where are they going with him and Angle? Like, what was the point of Jason Jordan being his son? It has to go somewhere. It can't. They just revealed it, and then that was it. It has to go somewhere. Is it not? Is it just like? Oh, he's his son, and that's it.
I have no idea. I couldn't honestly.
Fucking stupid. It's fuck. What? Is Sharmell gonna come out and be like, Queen Booker, and she can be like, oh, you remember back in college, honey? Then Booker T's gonna leave the announce desk, come out of retirement, beat the fuck out of Cornell. Sorry, I just like.
I was gonna say that got weird.
Yeah. Well, hey, dude, it could.
I wouldn't mind seeing Sharmell back on television. I loved Queen Sharmell.
But sorry, let's go back to Jeff Hardy. Sorry.
But yeah, Jeff Hardy, number one contender. So, do you think this is going to open up to? Because obviously this is the start of the singles runs.
Yeah.
So, do you think that this is going to lead to something? With Matt, I'm saying, with just.
Oh, what you mean? Because I think Matt being broken on his own.
Yes, I think if they're going to break Matt, I don't think Jeff Hardy's going to be involved. I think Jeff, because like I said, they want Jeff to be a huge single star. Mm-hmm. They've been talking about that since they got him back.
Well, he better start putting the face paint on again. It's because of fucking Finn Balor mostly.
Yeah, no, I see. And
also, he said that he wants to put the face paint on in the big time matches.
Yeah, I don't think there's no rush to get the face paint back.
Well, see, I don't know. I liked it when he wore the face paint all the time. I'm talking about Jeff, that is, and that maybe Finn Balor has something to do with it, but I don't know. It's all right. But yeah, just do what Balor does. Put it on in pay-per-view. It's big-time matches, you know?
And then he did say he wanted to have a paint versus paint match.
Nice. I'd love to see Jeff versus
Yeah.
Finn. Paint versus paint. That'd be sick.
Like,
I was actually reading something about Balor again today. Apparently, the last thing he wanted to do in his last indie match, he wanted to come out as a Silver Surfer and like have like a surfboard and everything. That'd been really cool. But unfortunately, he wouldn't have been able to do it. And he's only limited to so many things he can do in WWE due to copyright, you know.
But yeah, but no. See, here's the thing though. If anybody's gonna be able to get around that copyright shit, it's WWE.
Yeah,
they can pay it off.
Yeah, but he hasn't come out as Joker like he did. He hasn't come out as Venom.
But he did do Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
He did do Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He did do Jack the Ripper. So it is a possibility.
Oh, no, the Jack the Ripper one was still my favorite.
Oh, still,
that one, and honestly, the one in Full Sail where he came out with the wings and had like the fucking scales. That was awesome.
Like the second one.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
He hasn't done anything as cool since though. The one in SummerSlam was a little underwhelming. I don't know, but it was still kind of cool. But anyways, I love the Jeff Hardy's the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. I think that it will lead to something. I think it will lead to a split. I hope it doesn't mean Hardy versus Hardy. I hope that they both just like go their separate. I hope they go their separate ways as both faces. But I don't want them to be completely separate. Like I still want them to tag up like from time to time. But I think that a singles run for both stars right now, I think would be good. What do you think?
I would love to see like have one like randomly like they've been broken off for a while. Broken Matt and regular Jeff tagging up.
Yeah.
Like just like, oh, we were thrown together, and Jeff could be like, I don't know who the hell this is, but
I
guess I got a team with him.
Maybe it make more sense to split them up too, so Jeff can go back to being like this a top baby face, which I always thought he was great. He just the only Jeff Hardy's biggest enemy, and anyone who can attest this over the years, is himself. His biggest enemy is himself because of his drug addiction issues and all that. But honestly. And it sounds kind of corny and weird, but I'm honestly proud of him as a fan for him and his brother kicking those addictions and still being relevant in their 40s in 2017 is very impressive.
How many times have we seen with Attitude Era wrestlers where they get on that drug addiction and they just never come back? So it's awesome to see them. They could have been, because of the shit they put their bodies through, they could have been the names on the list.
Think about it. They could be in rehab or dead or like fucking working a part-time shitty job, hating their life. But no, they decided that they're stronger than that. They're gonna kick their demons, even in shitty ass TNA, and then they fucking made something of themselves.
Yeah, they did.
However, though, if Matt Hardy does go single and goes broken, how do you think? What incident or individual do you think would cause him to become broken?
Bray Wyatt.
Ah, perfect. And Wyatt, so desperately needs something.
Because
I'm so tired. Just a quick little thing about him.
Go ahead.
My buddies and I were talking. We think that Bray Wyatt's basically become a stepping stone on Raw. Every time he's like, dude, they don't use any time. They only use him to like put over other stars. It seems like when the guy needs to be over more himself. Like he's like charismatic, but it's like every time he's in a big feud, he always comes out on bottom. He beat Rollins at Great Balls of Fire, and what does he have to show for it? Nothing, because Rollins is the tag team champion now. No one even remembers that he beat Bray Wyatt, or that Bray Wyatt beat Rollins. Nobody gives a shit, and we all knew the Demon was going to win, which was fine because like it makes sense to him. He beat him. Wyatt beat Balor on Raw prior to SummerSlam, but
I could even see
Wyatt's going nowhere. He needs an interesting feud.
Obviously he's still going with Finn, because he eliminated her from the Battle Royal this week. So I could see him getting his win back. Honestly, I could see why.
Possibly.
Because I think Finn's bulletproof.
Right.
I truly think Finn's bulletproof.
Well, hey, I really like Finn. I think there's some people maybe that don't. There's some people to say, why isn't he in the cruiserweight division and stuff like that? And I get that argument, but I think I personally think Finn's special. I don't know. I just do. I think he's awesome.
No, Finn's the shit. I love Finn. I'm a huge Finn Balor fan.
Well, there's some people that fucking think he should be in the cruiserweight division.
Hell no.
And that he's nothing special and he doesn't have charisma. There's some people out there that believe this. I just don't see it.
I think that's
But there's people that used to bitch about Jeff Hardy too, like, oh, he doesn't have charisma and all he does is paint his face and do flippy flips. There's just people that just don't get it. I get it though.
Haters gonna hate.
Well, that's fine. Each his own. By the way, the volume that we're at is perfect.
Beautiful.
This is how the perfect setup.
See, this is how you get shit done.
This is how you do it.
Looks good on the mixer.
So,
yeah, we're good.
I am excited. Yes, Jeff Hardy and Miz would be great. Matt Hardy and Wyatt. I'm all for that.
Well,
what's the next topic?
Well, I wanted to stick on MMA because we did talk about Ronda Rousey.
Sure.
Because a man who has been associated with wrestling recently, we talked about him last week,
Oh,
John
him.
Bones Jones,
Mm-hmm.
who word came out he failed a drug test.
Oh.
But here's the
really?
weird part.
Uh-huh.
The day of the fight, just came out. The day of the fight, passed the drug test. Also
Oh,
passed
that's
7
weird.
unannounced drug tests.
Huh.
So, a little shady, don't you think?
Yeah. How do you fail a drug test and then pass
And it was the one
that doesn't make
sense.
sense.
It was the drug test that he knew he was going to take. There was the one unannounced, like the one announced drug test that they knew, like pre-fight drug test he knew he was.
Help me understand. Which one did he fail and which one did he pass? That doesn't make sense to me. Isn't there only like one? Like, isn't it just the company that tests you?
No, the way that like I said, he had 7 like random tests during his training camp.
Okay.
There's one before the fight and then there's one fight night.
Okay.
And he failed the one before the fight, but passed the one fight. He passed.
How does that work? How does like a day later your system clean? Did he take a niacin? You know what that is?
Yeah, no, that's just
okay.
Especially the drug tests they're doing. They're doing like legit, like they're going into the cells. They don't give a fuck.
Were you ever a fan of Workaholic?
I love Workaholic.
You remember the first episode, the best test in the West, where they try to take niacin? That's where I got that.
Yeah, okay. I had a buddy who tried that shit, failed it.
Dude, I used to fucking love Workaholic.
Oh, it was a great show.
It went downhill, you gotta admit.
Oh, it did. But this is a really fishy situation because everybody's getting on John Jones saying, "Oh, he's the worst. He's horrible. He's terrible. He's terrible."
Why? Just because of the testing?
Well, this would be
there other reasons?
This would be a second failed test within 2 fights.
Yeah,
but
didn't Lesnar fail test too?
Yeah, which is fishy about all of this shit now because
that seems just like not legit.
If this is the way this is going, I'm starting to lose faith in USADA.
Mm-hmm.
Because that doesn't make any sense what they're saying in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't understand this at all. But this is something we're going to keep a look on because there's still a lot of talks of John Jones versus Brock Lesnar at some point. And if John Jones
I don't know much about John Jones, but I'd like to see Lesnar is definitely interested, right?
Oh yeah, Lesnar says you better watch what you say, boy.
Both parties are interested in a match. Well, John Jones doesn't want to do WWE. He wants him in the octagon.
Well,
right?
if he fails a drug test, he's gonna be kicked out of the UFC, and he might not have a choice.
Yeesh.
And that's if it comes to it, then you're gonna do it. But just really quickly, I do want to mention Samoa Joe is injured.
Yeah.
4 to 6 weeks. I just want to quickly mention.
How did he get injured again?
I don't know how for sure, but I'm pretty sure it was shoulder.
Did he give himself a muscle buster?
Something like
so I had to make a joke because I know he like injured Eric Rono a couple years ago for doing a muscle buster, and I'm sure that's why they won't let him do it. By the way, I think
he injured Tyson Kidd.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I think he injured Eric Rowan too.
Did he injure Rowan too?
Both of them.
Okay.
Is Tyson Kidd done?
Yeah, pretty sure.
That sucks. I always liked him.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Him and Cesaro were good.
Oh, they're a great tag team.
So what's I gonna say? So I actually think I was right. I think they did blacklist the muscle buster. They won't let him use it, dude. I told you. Well, he has yet to do it since NXT. I think it sucks.
Well, you want to know somebody who did something really good since NXT? Probably for the first time since NXT, they actually did this positively. Roman Reigns cut a good promo.
Kind of, but he kind of struggled at first. Did it seem like he actually forgot what he was supposed to say, or was that
line? No, he forgot.
You got to admit, when Cena said, "That's as a promo, kid. If you want to be a top dog, you have to learn how to do it." Tell me that wasn't fucking hysterical.
Right. Just off the bat, I'm saying this right now. John Cena won.
Oh yeah.
He made Roman Reigns look so goddamn bad.
Also, I want to say that okay, a lot of that was still planned what they were going to say, but that part where he said that it's called a promo kid, that was a complete shoot. Did you know that? That part was not planned.
That was no. Cena, a lot of what both sides said was absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Cena saying, "You know why I'm still here? Because you can't do your job." Absolutely right. Absolutely, 100% right. That's a shoot.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. There was a lot of people were questioning, like, was this a shoot or not? Because they definitely fucking blurred the line. This is one of the better promos on Raw in a long time.
What's funny is I think Reigns is kind of doing his job. He's getting people talking about him. I mean, like he's still getting a reaction.
But he's not drawing like a Cena draws.
No, but a lot of that's not in his fault, though. We discussed this, like I don't think Reigns is Reigns is, I still think, good, and I just think a lot of his problem is, like I said, him shoving them down our throats, him not having an organic build or push, and the people are just kind of getting sick of it, but they're still having reaction. But you're right, he is no Cena, and it's funny that you brought that up. I shared this on Facebook. I found this. When you realize these two, and it's a picture of Cena being compared to Superman and Reigns being compared to Batman. Can you read Colin Ace Matthews' comment out loud, please?
Oh, 1 second. I'll show the picture.
Yeah.
There you go. There he is, right there. Can you make that
Yes.
out?
Hey, Colin, I want you to listen to our podcast.
All right. The comment is Cena is a legend. Reigns just sucks. Reigns has a good wrestling look and he is decent in the ring, but his character is terrible. Colin, we agree.
I actually, I didn't know he was going to say all that. I actually kind of agree.
No, that was very well spoken. I cannot disagree with the words he says.
But I feel like his character wouldn't be terrible if it was like, I feel like it's just he still never really broke away from the Shield. There was talks of the Shield, all three members getting back together. How would you feel about that?
I think Roman needs it.
I kind of do.
I think Roman needs it more than the other two.
Here's the thing, though. If you realize this, I think that honestly, we could probably, to a degree, we could probably be better than some of the writers in WWE.
I think so.
Because when the Shield initially broke up in 2014, wouldn't you have changed Reigns' character, look, and music to not be basically just identical to the Shield still?
I think that fucked them up a lot.
That and a non-organic build. His company push, because it was a company non-organic build, and they didn't change his vest, his music, or his gimmick.
No, they did change his vest. They put red on it.
Oh yeah, well, I actually did kind of remember when he was like wearing it almost looked like he was wearing like trip pants at one point with like the purple and the blue. I actually thought that was kind of sick.
It was something different. I had to give him credit.
And don't get me wrong, I think he looks badass. But everyone else changed their fucking Shield gear. Like, come on. Like, so at this point, they might have to put him back with the Shield to get him over.
It might be the best option for
Roman. Because like I said, it just sucks that I sound so upset because I am, because I really, really liked Roman back in the Shield, and I still want to like him, but they keep fucking him up. And but it was kind of funny how he kind of forgot his on Raw. He was like visibly nervous, but I give him respect because prior to WWE, he was just a football player. He never even talked.
Yeah, no, but my favorite line of the whole thing was, it took you 5 years, but you finally cut a decent promo.
Yeah, that was great. It was.
Loved it.
But, you can also argue that, Baron Corbin was just a football player prior to WWE too, and he can talk. Well, I don't want to say way better than Reigns, but definitely better.
Nah, Corbin's gonna work on his talking too.
Yeah, I know, but you got to admit he's better than Reigns, I think.
Well,
but also it's easier to be a heel than it is a face, and I've heard many wrestlers say that.
No doubt, it is a lot easier to get somebody to hate you than to get somebody to like you. It's no doubt.
It's just natural. You can just naturally be hated, But yeah. So I also wonder, maybe Reigns would be more charismatic if he was heel, but at this point it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
And maybe he could be face, get him back. They have all three members of the Shield on Raw now. Ambrose and Rollins are already back. Maybe after his match with Cena, maybe it's just what they need to do.
Well, obviously he's probably, if Strowman wins the title, which I really hope he does.
But I feel like they're not going to, because it's not WrestleMania or SummerSlam. It's just No Mercy. But
I don't know.
Vince, hey, as long as Vince McMahon has a pulse, anything could happen.
Yeah, and that's something, like I said last week, that's something we'll talk about.
Vince is more bipolar and fickle than a 13-year-old teenager.
No doubt.
Is that a good comparison?
Oh, it's a good comparison.
Yeah.
But I want to get on the last topic for this one, and I want to give out a little spoiler warning. If you're listening, we're about to talk about the Mae Young Classic. If you haven't seen the first 4 episodes, go on the network and watch them now.
Spoiler alert: Mae Young dies.
That's why.
I know.
But awesome first round, very, very good. You watched, right?
No, I only saw the first match. I actually kind of don't want the spoilers, but whatever.
We got to talk about it.
You didn't tell me to watch before I
did tell
came
you
over
to
here.
watch it. I told you on Monday.
I tried. Whatever. Fuck it.
Well, I only want to talk about a couple of matches because there's a couple of people.
Just don't spoil all of it for me.
No, I'm not going to spoil all of it.
I mean, 4 episodes. That's that's a lot.
There's only I want to talk about Jazzy Gabbert,
who
is the big German chick.
Yeah.
I won't spoil. I guess I won't go to spoilers, but she's fucking great. She's awesome.
Say what you got to say. Whatever.
Well, she loses.
Okay.
But she's somebody.
Damn it.
She's somebody that needs to be signed right fucking now. She's the most legitimate. She's like the Brock Lesnar of the women.
Yeah, Tim thinks she should be join up with Strowman.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be a very interesting.
My girlfriend.
Yeah, that would be fucking
They
interesting.
can come out just like fucking giant chicken bones and just like ripping people apart.
Oh my god, she was so legitimate looking. So I got to go with her. Shauna Blazer.
Are you sure she was actually a woman?
No, she was definitely a woman. She was all woman.
Did you check? Okay.
I checked personally.
Okay.
Yes. And then she kicked my ass. But Shauna Blazer, she defeated Zeta, which Zeta, I had no idea who she was. Not that bad. She threw a lot of good kicks and a lot of good submissions. So she wasn't a bad. Look out for her in the future. But this Shania Blazer chick, holy fuck, dude. She is. She might win the damn tournament. Legitimately, she might win it.
Yeah, I started watching it and I wasn't able to finish it. I'm gonna get back to it and I'll be all caught up for next week.
It's a good watch.
Oh, dude, I know it is. I was like, maybe I should watch SmackDown first.
I won't tell you who won this match, but the Kairi Sane Tess Blanchard match is no doubt in my mind the match of the round.
All right.
I won't tell you the
like
finish.
Super good though.
It is so good.
Don't tell me.
It sucks though because it's the last match of the 4th episode.
Okay.
So
I know
you gotta earn that match.
I should be a better journalist, but I'll be prepared for next week.
Oh my god, dude, that match was so goddamn good. You probably shouldn't look at my screen there because the second round matches were sitting right there the whole time.
It's all right.
I hope you
I'm
didn't
not
look
even
at
looking.
Yeah, the whole second round bracket was sitting right there. But also Piper Nevin versus Santana Garrett. That was a very close second for match of the round. So both of those were classic matches. A couple of people.
What was the first one again?
Kairi Sane versus Tess Blanchard.
Okay, cool.
Which was the one everybody's looking out for.
Sweet.
I just want to say that.
Yeah, I ain't
gonna spoil the match, but I was gonna say Kairi Sane's elbow drop is everything that everybody was saying.
Oh yeah, dude.
It is the greatest goddamn elbow drop I've ever seen in my life.
I saw footage of it. It looks fucking amazing.
Legit looked like she broke her body in half when she landed this fucking I'm
bet.
shocked she throws this elbow every fucking match. I was like, holy shit. I was impressed.
Fucking nice.
But a couple other names that stood out to me. Obviously, I've been talking about her since the beginning. Candice LeRae had a great match. Toni Storm, she's fucking awesome. Her character, it's like have you ever seen Given to the Greek?
Yeah.
It's kind of like an Alden Snow type character.
Oh, really?
She is so fucking awesome.
That's hilarious.
She's cool. And then Mia Yim.
Touch the fuzzy wall.
Yeah, and then Mia Yim, which you should probably remember from Jade from.
Oh yeah, the Dollhouse.
Yes.
Jade, and what was the other one?
I have no idea who the other people were. So
the other girl looked like Scary Spice.
Yeah.
I like them. I mean, it was annoying every time Josh Matthews called him the Dollhouse, but actually the leader, that blonde chick, I think she retired. She used to work for WWE. I forget her name.
Taryn Terrell?
Yeah. Did she retire?
I don't know if she's retired, but she's not wrestling at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
I love Taryn Terrell. She had awesome matches.
She was sexy.
She had a series of matches with Gail Kim for the TNA Knockouts Championship that were.
Gail Kim is fucking legend.
They had I can't remember if it was a Falls Count Anywhere or a Last Man Standing match. But there was it was their big event, so they had their ramp was just one long ramp to the ring. They did a fucking hurricanrana off the ramp on.
No shit.
Craziest shit I've ever seen in the match. Coming out of females.
Gail Kim still in GFW?
No, she retired.
She did.
Yeah.
What was her last match?
I can't remember for sure, but she did announce her retirement recently. So congrats.
Well, what's funny, but are you sure it's just not retired from GFW? Because technically Mickie James retired a couple years ago. Now she's back in WWE. Well, sometimes a WWE retirement and a TNA retirement could be two completely different.
You know how retirements go in wrestling. They don't mean shit. Ric Flair retired 17 times. He retired more times than he won the championship.
Oh, he said that he regrets his run in TNA, but I loved it. It was fucking hilarious.
No, I mean
he was like half naked and blading all the time.
No,
it was
that
fucking
was
awesome.
Terrible.
I loved it. It was great. It was great entertainment. Dude, him and Jay Lethal.
That was great. Don't get me wrong. That was entertaining. And then when he was with AJ, that was good. It helped out AJ a lot. But at the same time,
he had so many classic lines.
But at the same time, I had no interest in seeing him and Hogan bleed all over each other.
See, I did. It was fucking hilarious.
I had no interest in seeing
it. Was hilarious. It was like seeing just two crazy old men beat the fuck out of each other. It was awesome.
Crazy old men is definitely.
There was definitely so much good and bad about TNA, but that's a whole nother. We could talk a whole episode about Dude, we should have an episode titled The Rise and Fall of TNA.
No, we will get sued by WWE.
Okay.
Their rise and fall of WCW.
All right.
They're waiting for TNA to actually die so they can make that DVD.
Yeah, we'll call it something different. How about the ascent and the decline? There we go.
How about the slow death of the worst wrestling company in America?
I don't know about the worst, but maybe
No, I'm
not.
sorry. GFW is the worst. And on
There you
that note, we'll see you guys next week. I'm just
go.
kidding.
Okay.
but on a serious note, I don't have anything left. So anything you want to add on?
Let me think.
What's your match of the week?
Match of the week?
Yeah, match of the week.
If I'd actually seen all the episodes of the Mae Young Classic, I probably would have chose something from there. Is there anything to report from NXT or Ring of Honor or anything like that? Or
I did watch NXT this week, shockingly, because Adam Cole's now there. The start of the show started with Adam Cole and it didn't say exactly who attacks. Somebody attacked Sanity in the parking lot.
okay,
But for
I'm
some
sure
reason,
it was Red Dragon and Adam
yeah,
Cole.
well, you could kind of see silhouettes of people walking away in the background, and it was pretty obvious that it was them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they didn't fully say it was them. But here was the weird thing that came out of that one for me. It was Sandy showing up to the arena, yet they were in their.
Okay.
So they came to the arena dressed in their gear. It was really weird to me.
That is weird.
So that's the only thing that really stood out. Oh, they kind of set up Roderick Strong versus not Gargano, Galloway for the title.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of set that up, but then
is Bobby still in NXT?
They was Wrong versus Rude was the main event this week.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder when he's supposed to finish up with them.
Apparently, he's gonna have a little farewell tour, then he'll be up.
Yeah, I wonder. I do you think his last match will probably be the next takeover? That's what I think.
No, I don't think it'll be that long.
Oh,
because you gotta think that's gonna be like 2-3 months away.
That's true. Well, I don't know. I can't from match of the week. I didn't see too many things that stood out, but from top of my head, I think Cesaro and Rollins was good. Cesaro and Rollins always have good matches, even though and the one from a couple weeks ago was really good too. But and I'm going to say one more thing again. I actually do really like. I actually really do like Cesaro with Sheamus. So that it actually is really great.
It's a good dynamic.
Actually, you know what? I don't want him to break up with him right away. But when or if that day comes, that's when I'm all aboard the Cesaro singles train. But for right now, honestly, it's so hot and it's so good and entertaining. They got to keep them together. Like the whole "We Are the Bar" thing, it's fucking great.
Oh, it's awesome.
And plus, it makes me like not hate Sheamus again. You know.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that. I think
all I want is just Cesaro to be a world champion. Once that happens, I'll be good. Even if it's just a one-time thing and he has it for like a minute, I'll be good.
No,
but right now, I'm happy with him and Cesaro, Sheamus being together.
I agree with you on that one. I really do like that matchup. But for my match of the week, I definitely got to say the Corey Saint versus Tess Blanchard match.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like I said, I probably would have picked something off that too had I seen it.
It's a shame. It's a shame that it's a tournament match because that legitimately was a match that could have been on pay-per-view, like a women's title match.
Oh yeah,
that's the quality of this match. Like it was a damn good match. So,
it was a damn good cup of coffee, Dango.
Yeah, so it was a damn good.
Did you get the whole Twin Peaks reference with the Fashion Peaks?
Oh, what? I didn't see. Was they doing?
No, the last couple of weeks when they were doing Fashion Peaks.
Oh no, I didn't get any of this reference. I've never seen Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks is like I only seen parts of it. It was a.
I know what it is. I just know.
Oh, I only saw a couple episodes. They have it on Netflix. It was like a David Lynch show, and the cup of coffee reference and all that, and like Blue Velvet and the things they had on the bulletin board. It was all David Lynch references, and I thought it was hilarious because it's like there's like 3% of people in the world that is going to understand.
Oh, no doubt.
But I was one of the few people that got it. That's why I was cracking up because I like David Lynch, man. I like the Elephant Man and Racerhead and all that shit.
The only thing I know from David Lynch was he did this weird interview series on a website.
Was it the thing with the bunnies?
No. This was like a totally different thing. He won awards for this. Like he just went around the country and just interviewed these random ass people. And I gotta find it because it was some of the funniest shit I ever watched.
He's a very, very, very bizarre individual.
Yes. But that's not wrestling.
I know, but I still do love Breezango. I have two things to report. I mean, it's nothing big, but it's a big deal to me. Breezango and Elias Sampson, sorry, just Elias, they have T-shirts now. And I fucking want a Breezango shirt and I want an Elias shirt.
Honestly shocked it took him this long to make a Breezango shirt.
Right.
I'm legitimately shocked.
I'm pumped that fucking Elias is going somewhere too. He seems like he is anyhow.
Hey,
is he finally growing on you yet?
I never was against Elias. I didn't like the way they presented him. And I thought it was
you don't
stupid
like his character?
And I thought it was stupid they took away his last name.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb. But he still seems to be all right.
I have no idea what Vince's obsession with which one. I'll never get that.
He's a goon. He thinks people are like retarded and won't remember anything.
Oh, two names, too difficult.
I don't know, but he doesn't give kids enough credit. There's actually a lot of smart kids out there that like to get this stuff. You know,
there are.
there's also a lot of dumb kids too. But you
Yeah.
know, I don't know. I don't really have anything. Is there any fucking like new good wrestling DVDs coming out or anything like that?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't. I remember the last time I bought DVD was. Or like 2010.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think I
No, you
got
got
anything.
All right. Well,
Okay, wait, no, I did. I was watching a couple Stone Cold podcast things, and he was like telling stories about if wrestlers get to keep the title and stuff like that, like once they drop it. And he's like sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Um, what else was he talking about? He was talking about how Vince McMahon cracked him upside the head with the chair and like left that scar in the back of his head and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, just pretty much anything anytime Stone Cold talks, it's always pretty interesting. But I would just say maybe check him out, but that's about it.
Don't check out this.
Yeah, check out
because what you need to do
check us out over him.
The Phenomenal Podcast, which if you want to follow us, you can follow us at facebook.com/Phenomenal Podcast, twitter.com @Phenomenal Podcast, soundcloud.com/Phenomenal Podcast, youtube.com. I'm sorry, at Goonland Productions.
Yes, Goonland.
It's also the same with SoundCloud. I'm sorry, it's actually Goonland Productions. My mind slipped back into like episode 10 for some reason.
Right.
I don't know why.
What episode was this?
This is 16.
Oh wait, we didn't do the 16 times.
Oh, we didn't.
16 times.
Woo!
Woo!
All day right now. So this has been the 16th episode of the Phenomenal Podcast, the first live one on YouTube. We plan on bringing this live every single week to YouTube. This is the next step and the evolution of the Phenomenal
Stone Cold,
Podcast.
I expect you to support us now that I plugged you. Broken Skull Challenge.
It's coming to you, Stone Cold. But we better.
I plugged you, and I said you're entertaining, so plug us now. We're just as entertaining. If not
there
better.
better be a stunner in the mailbox, or I'm gonna be pissed.
I challenge you, Stone Cold. I think we're better.
I don't even think we're better. On that note, we will see.
But we will challenge you anyways, even if not.
Well, we'll challenge you, and we will see you next week.